It's homecoming weekend for the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils, and you already know nobody wants to catch an L on homecoming weekend. Are you kidding me? Guys, they're playing North Carolina Central State University today, but you know what? Mississippi Valley State kind of knew something that many of us didn't know, because at halftime, you had the MAC of the SWAC and the Satin Dials. At halftime, they were playing just fine by Mary J. Blige, getting their groove on. So you had to know some things was going to turn in a way where, you know, it was going to be a lot of excitement in this game today. But you know what? North Carolina Central, they're like, nah, we got something else different we're trying to do in this game today. And you guys got to pay attention to follow just what we're going to do to you. And that is walk up out of here with a W. But you know what? Sometimes things don't go the way some people feel they should go. But you know your favorite coach going to go ahead and break it down for you. So, hey, strap on in. It's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. And for all my leaders out there, y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. Hey, if you haven't done so already, hit that notification bell, like, comment, share these videos. Also, you can follow us on social media. The links are listed down below in the description. But before we go any further, do me a huge favor. Tap in a friend or two. Tell them to come on in. It's another positive vibes over here. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. So without further ado, Coach is already tapped in. He's just going to go ahead and jump straight on in this thing right now, because I'm going to be real with you. This game here was one of those games. I was just like, man, this is a pretty tight game. It could go either way. But there's some highs, there were some lows, there were some lows. And you know what? Sometimes when you get in those peaks, you got to find a way to dig yourself out those peaks. You got to work a little harder to get back up that hill. That's why I always believe when you're going through peaks and valleys, you go from peak to peak. You never go down in the valley. But guess what? The valley showed you going down in the valley, they can climb back up and get to where they're trying to go. So here we go. This was, like I said, this was definitely a low-scoring affair. And why do I say that? Because Richard, he got behind his big uglies. Number 51, Corey Bullock. Number 66, Kadeem Diouf. Number 76, Torricelli Simpkins III. Number 70, Chris Escalera. Number 77, Bruce Trigg, and drove the ball down the field and for a touchdown, making the game 10-0 in the first half, in which, you know, the Delta Devils had opportunities to put points on the board, but unfortunately, they missed the field goal. Listen, special teams for the Delta Devils, you guys got to get it together. Missing field goals, missing extra punts, missing field goals, missing extra kicks, that's not going to work. That's going to cost you in games. You guys have fought too hard in too many games that I've seen thus far, only for you to fall behind because of special teams. But I'm going to tell you, there's always got to be some drama in a game in which, you know, it's one of those games that they're going to talk about it for a lifetime. I believe this may be one of those games that they're going to discuss, because when I tell you some of the things that took place in this game, you're like, wait a minute, Coach, that didn't happen. Oh, yes, the heck it did. Right after the Delta Devils kicked their field goal, getting the score 10-3 right before the half, they kicked the ball off to North Carolina Central University. And you know what? I'm willing to bet Davis Richard wished that the time did go off the clock, because there was a play that was ran in which you know when you hear the buzzer go off during the game at the second quarter, letting you know that it's halftime. Well, in this instance, the buzzer went off, but the official said, wait, whoa, it's still some clock. It's still some time on the clock. You got about 2 to 3 seconds left on the clock. Guess what? Davis Richard threw a pick six. That's right. He threw a pick six to number 12, Vaughn Swainer of Mississippi Valley State, who took that bad boy to the house, tying the game 10-10. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils came out the half with a new attitude. I mean, they was like Patty LaBelle, new attitude. You hear me? They had a new attitude. So they came out, they said, hey, they took that ball, they drove that bad boy down the field. But you know what? Here we go again. Special teams rearing its ugly head one more time. We mess around and get a field goal blocked. Delta Devils, trench militia up front. That defensive line, I got to give them their kudos, because they definitely played defense in this game where it was bend but don't break. They were out there scratching and clawing and fighting tooth and nail to make sure they did not allow the Eagles to get the ball up and down the field on them for them to put additional points on the board. They wasted a lot of time on the field. They did eat up the clock. The time of possession was crazy with both of these teams. But to be honest with you, that Delta Devils defense kept them in this game. And, you know, like I said, it was led by none other than 92, the captain himself, Mr. Jerry Garner, 33, Jeremichael Kane. Number 50, Ronnie Thomas. Number 96, Darius Williams. And number 99, Jalen Bell, who kept the pressure on Davis Richard, who threw the ball 25 times, completing 14 for 198 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and was sacked 4 times. But you know what? And not to mention, Richard ran the ball 10 times for 30 yards and 1 touchdown. North Carolina Central rushed the ball 34 times for 93 yards and 1 touchdown, averaging 2.7 yards per carry. Total offense time of possession was 27 minutes and 30 seconds and was 2 of 2 in the red zone. Now, Jelani Eason, on the other hand, for the Delta Devils, got to give him his credit today. Young man, he managed the team. He didn't go out there. He wasn't playing erratic. He did all of the things necessary to keep the Delta Devils in this game, allowing them the opportunity to come back and win it when they were behind. Remember, like I said, Mississippi, they was in the valley. They fought back up to get to the peak. When they got to the peak, what did they do? They went from peak to peak. Now, here we go. Y'all ready? Now, like I said, Eason threw the ball 27 times, completing 20. Hear that? 20 for 175 yards, 1 touchdown, and was sacked 1 time. Delta Devils rushed the ball for 124 yards on 37 attempts. Now, their time of possession was 32 minutes and 30 seconds and was in the red zone 4 times. And they only converted 2 times. Remember, the other 2 times, they missed 2 field goals. So that's what kept them from putting points on the board. Now, there was one other time where they were outside the red zone in which they fumbled the ball when they was driving down the field. So, in actuality, the Delta Devils should have had more than 17 points on the board today. They left roughly, I would say, anywhere from 9 to 13 points on the field. It took a little time for the Delta Devil offense to find its identity out there on the field. But once they got moving, man, like I said, they were moving the ball fluently. I mean, when the Delta Devils drove down the field, I mean, they had the Eagles guessing. They didn't know what was going on. You had Eason running RPO, in which Eason was keeping the ball, going out the back door, getting big chunks of yards on the Eagles defense. So they had the Eagles guessing out there on the field. But like I said, costly turnovers. It reared its ugly head once again. But the Eagles, like I said, they were able to get the ball back after that blocked field goal. They drove the ball down the field, and they ended up scoring the winning touchdown, so they thought. But unfortunately, they did not convert the extra point. Now, the Delta Devils got the ball back with a little time left on the clock. Less than a minute left to go in the game. Delta Devils got the ball back with a little time left on the clock. Eason threw the ball to Jacory Rankin, who got out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Now, here we go again with a little more drama. Guess what? North Carolina Central thought the game was over with, but it wasn't. They had 2 seconds left to go on the clock. They called timeout. And you know what? Coach Dash and his coaching staff, they got everybody together. Guess what? They went out there and ran the play. Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils was able to get the win for their homecoming game on a Eason pass to Caleb Johnson to tie the game. Now, the next question is, can we make an extra point? Remember, we already had 2 field goals blocked, right? So 2 field goals blocked is already in the kicker's head. You know what North Carolina Central did? They iced the kicker. They went ahead and called timeout. He went up there, kicked the ball, it went through, and they were like, oh, they called timeout. So now they come back. Hey, the kicker was a G. He brushed his shoulder off like, I ain't even worried about y'all. I got this W in my pocket. This bad boy going through the uprights. Snap the ball, Mississippi Valley State get the win. Guys, let me tell you something. Watching this game, I learned a lot about these young men, about the young men out there on this field playing once again. And that is they have a coaching staff that ingrains in them to fight, continue to keep fighting. One thing for certain, 2 things for sure, in life, you're always going to have to stand up and fight. Not necessarily using these, but sometimes you got to use this here, and you got to have it in here to motivate yourself, to get you over the top, to get to where you're trying to go. Sometimes people don't want to hear all of that. They just want to have the laugh and jokes and talk a bunch of trash and make you feel however they want to make you feel, thinking that that's going to get you motivated to get you to where you're trying to go. It don't always work that way. But Mississippi Valley State was able to get the win today. Salute to both teams, North Carolina Central as well as Mississippi Valley State. I was sitting on the edge of my seat thinking that, hey, North Carolina Central then pulled out another win against a SWAC team. And boy, matter of fact, it would have been the second SWAC team in the state of Mississippi. But it just didn't happen today. But you know what? Mississippi Valley State plays Bethune-Cookman, in which both of these teams do not have a SWAC win as of yet. And you got North Carolina Central playing Tennessee Tech, who you got in these games. Leave a comment below and let me know. But until next time, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get all upcoming videos. And remember, be the one and lead.